In studio, I have seated Margaret Ansei, who is National Communications Team Member for the NDC. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. You were also parliamentary candidate before for Suhun?
A former municipal chief executive and a former parliamentary candidate for Suhun.
Okay. How are you doing?
Great.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And then we also have Lawuratu Musah-Saaka, right? Who is a member of the MPP National Communication Team. Fantastic. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. All right, so let's begin our conversation. We want to, first of all, discuss this alleged destabilization plot. ACP Benjamin Agodzo is facing court today. I'm going to read a story from the online portals, and then we can come in and then have a conversation about that. Okay, so on citynewsroom.com, we have destabilization plot, ACP Benjamin Agodzo denied bail, faces court tomorrow. That was from yesterday. Let me just quickly read that. ACP Agodzo's lawyer, Martin Pebu, in an earlier City News interview, revealed that he was interrogated on his participation and comment in a WhatsApp group, created by the supposed leaders in the destabilization plot. The major part of our interrogation is that he was confronted with messages on the platform. ACP is said to have stated that Ghana has conditions which are ripe for an Arab Spring. They asked him, and he said that it was in context, and that the WhatsApp platform was set to discuss social and political matters, and so that was his opinion. Martin Pebu explained. The BNI and National Security Operations have confirmed that former Executive Secretary at the Office of the IGP, Superintendent Peter Tobu Lanchene, has also been invited for questioning. And then we have the same story follows today. So he's after being denied bail. Here it says that I'm just going to do a quote here. It says, it turns out that the BNI are willing to grant him bail. They rather said they will arraign him at the Kaneshie District Court this morning. That's today. So we will go and apply for bail in that court. But this is the smack. We know that District Court has no jurisdiction to try this matter. So it means, frankly speaking, we cannot get bail in the court. So we will take steps to go to the High Court to get him bail. All right. Let me come to you. First of all, Lawuratu, what are your comments this far?
Well, before I will say good morning to our viewers and good morning to you, David. When it comes to some of these issues bordering on security, I always want to err on the side of caution.
Okay.
Because with a little that I know, the people we have at the helm of affairs when it comes to security, I think, know what they are about and up to the task. In relation to this particular issue, I'm happy. There's nothing like he's being detained against his will. It's not like he was just picked up, Rambo style or anything. The due process is being followed. He's being questioned, he's been arraigned before.
But I'm not sure it is his will to stay overnight in jail.
At least what is being done is within the remit of the law.
Okay.
I don't think his rights have been infringed on in any way with what you read out. I'm basing my submission on what you read out. And for someone of his caliber, I think with what you've said, he should have known better to the extent of which to go on social media platforms in the wake of all these cybersecurity attacks and all that. Most of these things. And that what really makes me sit up is the statement that Ghana is ripe for an Arab Spring.
He says that the conditions in Ghana
Yes.
are rife for an Arab Spring.
So for a security aspect, for lack of a better description, to make such a statement, I think what is being done is in the interest of the country.
So you say you refer to him as a security expert. If he's a security expert and he's making such comments, don't you think he has a basis for making such comments?
What's
Understanding security?
He's an ACP.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He's within the security dispensation. We know that within the security
He's
sector...
a senior police officer, yeah.
Senior police officer. That's why I said he's an ACP, which is high up there. They have a way of picking their own intelligence. So if an ACP of his caliber thinks that the conditions in the country is ripe for an Arab Spring, and this is someone who has been detailed, paid with the taxpayers' money to ensure that the citizenry are safe and well protected, is it a WhatsApp platform
that you make such
statements?
Okay.
See, we need to be careful about some of these things. He might have said it, but for his area and for the person that he is, I don't think any security installation would take it as just a mere comment. I might probably make such a comment out of excitement, out of anger, because I may not be privy to what happens within the security circles. That's not my area. But for an ACP to make such a comment in the wake of all the cybersecurity
so yesterday,
things, we all know what
his lawyer
Arab
was
Spring
interviewed
brought.
on Eyewitness News, and I don't remember all the details, but basically he was suggesting that when you look at things like disgruntlement of the youth, unemployment, people agitating left, right, and center for this and for that and so on. These were the things that were going on, when the Arab Spring began. And this is why the gentleman went into the streets and set himself ablaze, because he was sick and tired and wanted to make a statement. So in making such a statement, has he done anything untoward? For
me, I think for an ACP, I think he's done something untoward. Because like you said, whoever was making those agitation, and people will agitate no matter what it is. In the developed world, people agitate for all kinds of things.
So if he's agitating, then,
yes, but David, let's
game.
put it in context.
Right?
This is someone who is supposed to make sure an Arab Spring, as he put it, doesn't happen. So if such a person is making such a statement, I think it's in order for the security agencies to treat it as a matter of national security.
Okay. Let me ask Margaret what your thoughts are on this.
Thank you, David. And let me first of all say good morning to you, your team, and your cherished viewers. And thanks for the opportunity given us this morning to add our take on our party's stance on what is going on currently in the country. With regards to this security issue, as my sister rightly said, we are not security experts, and if you are not careful and you delve so much into such issues, you might rather worsen the situation. But first of all, Ghana, we are enjoying our democracy. And no matter what, I don't think somebody can assume, or will even in his widest imagination assume that they will destabilize this country. No matter what the situation is, there are hardships in the country. The conditions are not best, but we are trying.
Why do you think that people will not imagine to destabilize the country?
Democracy.
I don't get that.
Democracy, no matter what, it's something that we should hold in high esteem.
We should. But the fact that we should doesn't mean that there are people who will not be unhappy and decide to not, go a different direction from the way you're feeling.
Honestly, that is my point of view. That I'll be amazed, I'll be surprised if such a thing will happen. And if so, if it's even happening, I think certain information should be censored by the security, because there are a lot of things happening. I think government should focus on governance. There are security experts, there are state agencies who should be responsible for this. So this fanfare around it it makes it a little bit, I don't really get it because
what do you describe as fanfare?
The invitation, what is in the media, what the party is saying. I think such information should be censored. The citizens should not even be allowed to delve into such issues. It should be strictly security matters so that government deals with governance, provide for the citizen what we are looking for. Whilst the security or the state institution that are responsible for this deals with this.
Yeah, but I mean, in dealing with it, it's still concerns us, the ordinary citizens.
Yeah, it concerns us, but
why should it be hidden from us?
The fanfare thing I'm talking about, the media comes in, other people, then it gets alarmed. People may not understand, what is happening. It's rather even bringing how it's that, we are supposed to feel secured. That is why we voted for a government to take care of us. So when such things comes out, the ordinary person, you get scared. It can result in so many issues. You understand? So the state institutions that are responsible for this should handle this peacefully, professionally. We are all learning from the Western world. All this Americanization, media, PR, we are all learning. You can go to the police officer's office, interview him, without the hullabaloo around it. You understand? You can do this in such a way that, yesterday the family was interviewed, he's denying access to the family. In as much as we are all trying to stabilize our nation, we shouldn't also infringe on somebody's rights. To me, we are enjoying democracy, and I think every Ghanaian should contribute.
You think his rights are being infringed on?
Yesterday, I heard the family, I heard the lawyer, and even today, the high court that they are going, the lawyer is putting out a point that it is just, something that they are still trying to keep him in hostage or keep him with the BNI, because where they are going, it seems they cannot even get bail. What I want to state is that his right, nobody's right, not him alone, whoever is involved in this, nobody's rights should be infringed upon. Everybody should enjoy his or her freedom in the country. We are practicing democracy, freedom and justice, whatever. The security should handle this issue without all the fanfare coming around it.
Okay, so I have a story here. I'm going to read this and then I want to ask you a question here. Specifically you. We have on citinewsroom.com, it says ex-IGP's former executive secretary invited for questioning over destabilization plot. This is a different person. This is not a doctor. This is, okay, so Citi News sources within the BNI and National Security Operations have confirmed that former executive secretary at the office of the IGP, Superintendent Peter Tobu Lanchene, has been invited by BNI for questioning over his alleged involvement in the plot to destabilize the country. Superintendent Tobu, who is the NDC parliamentary candidate for Wild West constituency in the Upper West region, also worked in the office of former IGP David Asante Apietu. This brings to 3 the number of top police officers being interrogated for their alleged involvement in the destabilization plot. I wanted to ask you, do you have a sense that this may be an aspect of political witch hunting going on?
David, you've answered the question yourself. But
I'm asking the question.
But you've answered it yourself. David, listen. We know Inspector Tobu, how do you call him? The former secretary of the IGP, the former IGP. He's worked with various IGPs. His colleagues have said a lot of good things about him. This is not the first time he's been in the news. Even before he became a parliamentary candidate of NDC, he was in the news. He speaks about leadership and stuff. So why all these things now? Is it because he resigned? Because even his resignation for going to contest as an NDC parliamentary candidate brought a whole lot of issues. Why now?
What are some of those issues?
It brought a whole lot. To the extent that there are certain conspiracy theories that even the former IGP was removed as a result of that.
I see.
So his resignation to go and contest on our ticket only brought out so many issues. So many, as I said. One of the conspiracy theory that Mr. Apietu was removed out of office because of this. So why are they still pursuing him? Ghanaians need proper governance. there's so much hardship that this government has brought upon us. We should relieve Ghanaians. We should relieve Ghanaians of such hardship.
Such as what?
Look at what is happening in the economy now. Insecurity, look at education, look at health, look at so many, all the sectors, the very sensitive sectors of our economy. It's in shambles now. Nothing is going on well. Ghanaians are expecting the president and the vice that they voted for to give them the change they promised them. That is what we are looking for. That is why I first of all said that all these things, all this fanfare, it's not helping us. They should deal with it. Invite whoever they are. Why is it even in the news? Why are we even discussing this? And there are security issues. They are sensitive matters.
So you prefer that because there are security issues, it should be dealt with behind the scenes.
David, let me give you an example.
Let's see what the government
is doing in terms of the recent banter between the telcos and the Ministry of Communication. They are telling the telcos to hide information from customers. Information that the telcos are supposed to be responsible and be transparent with customers. They were telling them to hide such information. And look at this sensitive thing. Why is it out there as if it is diverting attention that Ghanaians should their minds should be way off what is happening and go and talk about these things? Why there are so many things, the nepotism, all the wrongdoings in the government. Look at this senior minister's issue and what is happening. His response, which has been rejected. You know, all these things are issues that Ghanaians are holding the president for. Not security issues. Who does this? Who does this? What we are looking for, they should give us results. They should, if such thing is happening, they should tell it and bring the perpetrators to book. We don't need this fanfare, as I said. All this, we don't need them.
Okay. Let me come back and just get a quick rebuttal before we go for a break.
Yes, David. Yes.
She says there's a lot of fanfare.
David, I'm quite
your government
surprised.
is very
surprised. I'm quite amazed.
You know,
if I were to be a Ghanaian this morning,
are you not
watching?
Ghanaian?
No, I mean I'm using it in context.
Okay.
Watching
my
sister on Citi TV this morning, I will feel very disrespected.
Really?
Because I don't think Ghanaians are this gullible. Ghanaians are smart. Ghanaians are discerning, and I think we need to contextualize this.
So she's throwing out deceptions?
Exactly.
Is that what you're suggesting?
This thing about fanfare, where is the fanfare? Is there any government official that you've quoted in this statement? The people talking is the person's lawyer. What's his locus in governance? And for her to say it's a security...
Lawuratu,
yes,
you're saying that there's no government official that has been quoted here. Yes. But we all know that the BNI and the national security are an extension of the executive.
Yes, David, at this point in time,
so
yes, we all know.
That's literally government.
Yes, when you let me flow, I think we'll get there. What she said was fanfare and all that. I'm drawing your attention to the fact that the story that you read, because based on what she said, is security issues should be left to the security experts. Yeah. But what I wanted to know is governance is a collective thing. And the paramount interest of every government is the safety and the comfort of the ordinary citizen. That's what we are in for. So if you say security should be left to the institutions there, and in another breath, you say government should leave them to do, then what are you talking about? Government should do this. Government shouldn't be involved in making sure that the ordinary Ghanaian is safe. And to go on and say fanfare, I'm just wondering what the fanfare is all about. The security, the lawyer of the person talking to the media is fanfare. For all I know, it's the security agencies that have invited this person, one of their own, based on what they've picked up. You and I don't know what has been picked up. And the fact that that hasn't even been put on in the public domain should tell you that those at the helm of affairs knows what they are doing. And I think we should leave them to do it and state it. This is government. Governance is serious business. It's not fanfare.
Okay. Governance is serious business and not fanfare. We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. This is Breakfast Daily. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And I want to read some of your WhatsApp messages that you've been sending us, and then we'll go into the next story. A. Farouk from Tamale North says, good morning. Instead of the government to concentrate on the hardships and joblessness Ghanaians are facing now, they rather choose to arrest top security men. Ghana will not continue to be in the hands of Nanado forever. Hashtag Breakfast Daily. Family and friends, no more. Vote out NPP and government beyond families and tribesmen, no. From King Kaka at Takwa. Maha's record bankrupt, says the president. Mr. President, what is your track record? Free SHS that you are bragging about is not working. Don't you get it? Your advisors are making you a laughing stock. The presidency is not about showing off traveling with a convoy of 50 cars or flying in private jets. Ghanaians are suffering under your watch. This is coming from Ablade in Efiekuma. Abbas from Offenso says, MPP and President Nanado cannot accuse Mahama of nepotism while in opposition and then turn to even do worse. Is the government telling us that Nana's relatives and friends are the most intelligent and qualified people in the MPP? It's a pity how tribalism and party interests have clouded the mind and heart of President Nanado. Last one is coming from Olanyo in Akwetia. What is wrong if your family and friends are capable and competent to occupy certain positions in their president's government? Let me remind the NDC that family and friends came together to fight for Ghana's independence, named as the Big Six. Three of the president's family members were there. All right, let's get on into the next story. I'm going to start with you.
My NDC.
Your NDC General Secretary is. Let me just quickly read a story there. NDC calls for enactment of law to check nepotism. All right. The National Democratic Congress is calling for the enactment of an anti-nepotism legislation to check abuse of power by governments. According to them, the governing New Patriotic Party is running a nepotistic government, contrary to President Akufo-Addo's promise to Ghanaians in 2016. The NDC argues that over 51 members of the current administration are directly related to President Nana Akufo-Addo. Addressing the press at a Moment of Truth series at the NDC headquarters in Accra on Tuesday, the National Communications Officer for the party, Sami Jemfi, I said National Secretary, didn't I? I made a mistake. Okay. National Communication Officer for the party, Sami Jemfi, said the president could have changed the narrative after accusing the NDC of doing the same when it was in power. The enactment of an anti-nepotism legislation to help check the abuse of power in the advancement of the nepotistic agenda of President Akufo-Addo, his appointees, and any unforeseen recurrence is long overdue in Ghana, he said. And I quote, "We contend that notwithstanding the enormous constitutional powers conferred on the president, such powers must not be exercised in a whimsical manner and in furtherance of the interest of family members, friends, and cronies. And we believe that the time has come for Ghana to enact an anti-nepotism law that imposes clear restrictions on the employment of close relatives as it is done in other jurisdictions." And he quotes from Title 5, Section 3110 of the United States Code, which forbids a public official from appointing a relative to a civil position in any agency over which that official exercises jurisdiction. All right. So, you are accusing the president of having dug into his family tree to pull out all the people who can do different things and put them in different positions to do things. How true is this? How real is this?
David.
Are you not crying wolf over nothing?
David.
Yes.
As my
Margaret.
sister said, Ghanaians are very sensitive people and intelligent people. We will never take them for granted.
Okay.
Dave, Nana Akufo-Addo, when he was an opposition leader, just ended 2016 election, Nana accused the ex-Wa Mohammed's government, our government, of family and friends. Dave, and you are not coming with clean hands. And the reason why the MPP and Nanado were doing that was they classified all the 3 northern regions then. Now we have Savannah region there. But before, they classified all those people as Northerners. So regardless, whether you were Gonja, a Mampusi, a Frafra, a Dagati, Nana put all of them together and said, because Mahama is a Gonja from Boli, nobody from the 3 northern regions should come close to power. They don't have ideas. They are short of ideas. They don't know nothing because President Mahama is from there and he's a president. Therefore, everybody with a northern accent and a northern descent in Mahama's government was classified as a friend to Mahama or a family to Mahama. Even if you are from Ashanti region or Central region, and by religion you have a northern name called Amina or Fatima, Nanado claimed that because of that name that you had, you are a close friend or a family to John Dramani Mahama. This was what he did in 2016. He convinced and lied to Ghanaians based on this. So Ghanaians were expecting him that as Nanado is from Achim in the eastern region and from the Achim Ebuakwa tribe. In Ghana, over 70 ethnic groups are spread across the 16 administration regions. Nanado is coming from eastern region and from the Achim Ebuakwa, not the Bosome, not the Kotoku. So we were also expecting him that as he is at the Jubilee House now, nobody from the Kotokus, from the Bosome, from the Ebuakwa should even go close. Because of what he said, even in the eastern region, we have the Kwewus, we have the Akwamus, but only Achim Ebuakwa and the Kotoku, which is Osafuma for Oda, they have clouded the presidency, they have clouded the state institutions. Nanado, who claimed that John Mahama is from Bole, who is a Gonja, therefore no Mampusi, no Dagati, no Frafra, nobody should come close to power. So everybody that you hailed from the north, he classified all of them and put them in one basket.
Yeah, but if what you're saying is true and holds any weight, his vice president is from the heart of the north. So on what basis are you holding so strong?
David, let me tell you, his vice president is from the northern region. But this same Nanado, who knew that his vice president, he was looking for power. That is why I said I based my. He lied and convinced Ghanaians. He lied, and therefore we were expecting him not to bring gullible, not to bring anybody, not to bring anybody. No, he lied to them. That John Mahama, because he employed people from Upper West, Upper East, northern region, and people that had northern accent or northern descent, they were family and friends. And therefore, John Mahama has taken the Flagstaff House to the northern region. We were not expecting Nanado to do what he's doing now. To the extent that you employ your cousin, your nephew, your ex-wives or your baby mamas, even where Osafo Mafo's two sons are in the same institution, then they create officers for them. David, why we are doing this for Ghanaians is that nepotism breeds corruption. Nepotism breeds abuse of power. Nepotism breeds toxic environment. Nepotism does, it holds confidentiality. Can you imagine with the recent PDS issue? Gabi Ochedaku, who is not a member of government, has more detailed information than the Minister of Energy. When he was interviewed, you could realize that he's more detailed. Why? Because the information is centered around the family, because they feel that they are protecting a family legacy.
So in this case...
Why are you making such spurious allegations?
I am telling you, in this...
feeling like they're protecting a family like that.
Gabi is not part of government. But the kind of information he has, when they went to Russia, he was interviewed. He had detailed information than even the Minister of Energy. David, instead of spreading information to people who are qualified and are competent to work with for us to achieve a national interest, they are rather working towards family interest. It breeds toxic environment. Look at what is happening. You'll be there, then a document is leaked and information is sent out there. The people they are working with feel that these people are family and friends. They are cronies. They are not even helping us. Let us release the information and let people know what is happening. It breeds corruption. David, look at what is happening. If your brother is at the Attorney General's office, one is at PPA, and you are doing something that is wrong, they will cover up for you. They use the network to cover up. This does not help build a nation. Abuse of power. There was a recent example in Ashanti region. A contractor, who is the head of Contractors Association, said something that the road minister felt that he has insulted a family member. The road minister asked him to apologize, else he terminates his contract. Have you seen where the abuse of power is? You do not have that right and power to tell a contractor that if you don't apologize to my brother or my cousin or my nephew, I will terminate your contract. What would have resulted from this if he had done that? Judgment debts. Are they not killing the states? Are we looking at state interest or we are looking at family interest? This is what the nepotism is causing us. We are not just saying that his family members are not competent. We are not saying that he is not supposed to. But when he was saying that to John Mahama, did he know that the people that he was talking about, they had worked for our party, they are competent, they are qualified to hold such positions? Did he know that? And why is he doing this today? To the extent that, look at the burden on Ghanaians. You will widen your government and put huge debts, huge, a lot of hardship on Ghanaians because you have to take tax and pay your relatives. All these things go into one family. My dear, what we are talking about, the corruption, the networking, the hostile environment, the confidentiality, all these things is as a result of giving positions, giving jobs to your family, which is nepotism. It is not helping the states.
I'll come back to you. All right. So,
David.
Yeah. Massive accusations
I
and
feel
allegations.
Totally scandalized.
Really?
As someone coming from the northern sector. And if my sister gets to know, I'm a Gunja.
Okay.
My mother comes from Bole, and my father comes from Ampa. I'm a royal on both sides. So for her to sit down and run us down, all in the name of impugning motives, that a president who was mindful enough to choose someone of northern descent as his running mate, I think she needs to apologize.
To who?
To me and every other person from Savannah, Northeast, Northern Region, Upper East and Upper West. To think that majority of the people in the NDC are from that part of the country beats, I don't know, it's lost on me for her to sit down and impugn. And I was just waiting for her to just give me one reference of when Nanado said that nobody from these 5 regions should come close to power, especially when he was contesting someone. And if she cares to know, the same former president, John Mahama, happens to be my uncle. When we want to do politics, let's do politics with a certain level of decency and stop hitting heads. For a group of people that are calling for a law on nepotism, I think my sister is out of line. But let's go to the issues. I was amazed because yesterday I was in Cape Coast for Girls in ICT Climax.
Okay.
Over 980 girls in the central region having trained in ICT. Okay. Programming, robotics, all kinds of things. 980. Unprecedented. And these were
which
kids.
Program?
Is under Ministry of Communications.
Okay.
These are kids, majority of who have never even touched a computer. And we are talking about nepotism. Is this what we want to deliver? Is this the alternative we want to give Ghanaians? Is this the policy NDC wants to give?
So you don't think they have a point?
I don't think they have a point. I think they are totally out of...
But they produced a list of over 51
Ghanaians out.
Over 51
the
people who are directly related to the president.
The president took office in 2017. By the dictates of our constitution, he has the powers to appoint people that will push his vision as the first gentleman of the land. He's appointed over 6,000 people. And you think everything should stop to discuss 51 out of 6,000?
Nepotism.
Are we serious?
Nepotism is a stretch if you look at the figures.
David, 51 out of over 6,000. And they think all government business should come to a halt and discuss this. Nepotism. The first person who accused former President John Mahama of running a family and friends government is Honorable Alban Bagbin. He's alive today. We can ask them. Go on to My Joy Online. The news item is there. So what are we talking about? Let's talk about the people they mentioned. I know they just had to mention Honorable Lawuratu because she's doing wonderfully well in her sector.
Really?
And it's one of those sectors that will bring NDC to a halt. They mentioned Akusia Menu, who happens to be Mark Menu's daughter-in-law. I mean, how preposterous can you be? 51. Gabi Ochredako, what position does he occupy in government? When Gabi Ochredako was with Let the Vote Count and the police beat him up, who mentioned him as a family to the president? When Honorable Finance Minister Kenneth Foriata and his wife and children were on the streets of Ghana soliciting for support, who said they were relatives of the president? In any way, who runs their vision with enemies?
Oh, really?
Who were they expecting the president to appoint? He had to appoint people who believe in his vision. He has a four-year mandate. Look at all the problems she's listed. The former president himself has said on countless occasions that 4 years is not enough time to solve the issues of this country. But we are trying. We've done significantly well. If it's family and friends that are sustaining NABCO of over 100,000 youth from the Unemployed Youth Graduates Association, then I endorse family and friends. If it's family and friends that is sustaining free SHS, I endorse that. If it's family and friends that's made it possible for the NHIS debt to be paid, then I endorse family and friends. I can go on. I mean, I don't know. I can understand if for a party that has been out of government after 8 years, for you to have performed such abysmally, 44% unprecedented, I can feel their pain. But I think for people who want to position themselves as an alternative, they should do better than this. 51 out of 6,000. And to think that the whole statement was read by a lawyer is the one that even kills me. A lawyer who is supposed to know better stood there, but I can't blame them because hitherto, that position was called propaganda secretary. And nobody can beat them at propaganda. We are focused on making the lives of Ghanaians, especially the youth of this country, better. And you can see from the policies. There are challenges. We won't run away from them.
Okay.
But we are focused and we'll deliver.
All right. I have a few more messages. Today, your messages are coming very frantically, so I'm going to just quickly read some more of your messages and then we'll continue the discussion. Margaret, get ready. You're going to give me a comeback on what she just said. All right. Good morning. Please, politicians, show us now how long do they hear our needs. Every day we are crying, but they're laughing at us. Okay, your message needs to be constructed a little better so that we can read them out clearly. Abel from Kwabenya says, Mr. President Akufo-Addo, from where I stand, I don't think your administration will be overthrown. One thing I have realized, this current administration dislikes criticism. So if you're a critic of them, they will go to every length to bring you down. Mr. President, let me assure you that the real coup d'etat will take place in 2020 with our thumbs. So no amount of intimidation will make some of us stop the constructive criticism. Ghana deserves better. No amount of baseless press conferences, lies, mischief, and propaganda from the NDC will bring them back to power, because Ghanaians are now enjoying good governance under the auspices of President Nana Akufo-Addo. This is coming from Tiawa. He says, hashtag ignore NDC and Mahama, hashtag for more for Nana. Okay, Jagos from Insawam says, I think there's more to come in this coup plot saga now that BNI and CID have started fishing out people for interrogation. We should relax and see how things go. Miftau from Tamale Central says, let's not rush in bashing BNI for detaining the police officer. No one is above the laws of Ghana. Well, thank you very much for that. Let me quickly hear if Margaret has any response to this. From what she's saying, you guys on the opposite side, you just like throwing dust in everybody's eyes, because the president has appointed 6,000 people, and the 51 that you found that happen to be related to him are the ones that you have identified, and you're making noise about them as if there were 51 people in his government. But there's over 6,000 people that he's appointed. So,
David, I will not take you far. On the January 17, 2016, Nana Addo said, my wife won't distribute contracts. He was addressing...
On January 5?
January 17th.
January 7th?
2016.
Okay.
He said his wife would not distribute contracts. He was addressing party people in the Ashanti region. So whose wife was distributing contracts? And the wife that was distributing contracts, that is what made John Mahama build free secondary day schools. There's community day schools for Ghanaian children.
I don't understand what you're saying.
He said his wife won't distribute contracts.
Okay,
so in inference,
he's saying that
he was saying that whose wife was
President
distributing...
Mahama's wife was distributing contracts.
January 17th, 2016.
Okay.
Nana Addo said that.
Okay.
And my sister is talking about if nepotism has brought all these developments. Where are the developments NPP is talking about? Is it the N1? Is it the circle interchange? Is it the community day schools we build? Is it the ICT centers we build? Is it the roads? Is it the growth in the economy? What did the nepotism give us? It is Nana Addo who started this. And what have they achieved?
No, I don't understand. When you say Nana Addo started what? Because you just made a case which is very clear. Less than 0.01% of the entire group of people that he's appointed.
The family and friends government, President Nana Addo was talking about them as a candidate.
1%, yeah.
Who were they? Were he referring to? Who were the family and friends referring to? Here we have Claire Finance
so
Minister.
Sounds like accusations and counter-accusations. It's almost like it's a baseless thing that you're making.
Look at the magnitude of the position. A finance minister who is related to the president, a road minister who is related to the president, a president's secretary, Asante Bedieto, who is related to the president. He has his father and his mother in government. What are you talking about? It is out of 6,000. And look at the 51 very powerful positions where you could do all the net worth and cover up corruption. It's not helping the nation. We, the NDC, are looking at the nation's interest, not family interest. Look at these 51 people who have ganged up to hold the presidency to a halt when they don't even release information, when people need information to work with.
Margaret, hold on.
How is it benefiting the state?
So the 5,500 other people who have been appointed by the president, they don't matter? It's only these 51 that are important to you?
David, we are talking about the effects.
Of what?
The negative effect of their position and what it's doing to the country now. Now, who shares contracts? Nobody is saying his wife will not share contracts as a president. Who shares the contracts? Where do the contracts go? Where? Who does them? What is happening? People are, look, go to state institutions, go to corporate world. Why do you think that if you are in the corporate world, even the bank, and you want to marry, you cannot marry someone within your organization? One has to resign before the marriage can take place.
But what's that going to do with anything? There are other organizations that you can marry within your organization.
I'm talking about state institutions here. And who supersedes them? Why is Ronaldo not giving an example? When he clearly came out and said that the ex-One Muhammad's government was doing family and friends. Where he clearly said that. So we were thinking that Nanado will not.
And she did make a very good point. Ababa was the one who mentioned that President Muhammad was doing family and friends. I remember that very well.
Read the NDC.
You don't have a response for that?
We are looking at the effect of what Nanado is doing with his friends on the states. Right now, they are protecting family interests, not the nation's interests. And that is what we are bringing out for Ghanaians to know.
We don't have time. We have barely got. Let's just make quick progress.
Inflation rate is at the lowest now, 7.6. So what is she talking about?
David, when the NPP talk about the
so well,
is the economy going for the Ghanaian, or is going for foreign direct investment, or is going for the IMF? Who is the Ghana's economy growing for? David, when I was talking, she was making interjections. Who is the Ghana's economy growing for?
Fair enough. Yes, we only have a few seconds to go anyway, so we are almost done.
Rate, which is at all-time low. Right?
Yep.
That is an economy that is doing well.
And what's the effect on Ghanaians?
I don't blame them. For a party that has its so-called economics guru who was made to respond to...
It wasn't about me. I was calling himself an economic guru.
Right.
And now when the
EMT addressed the nation, he was brought to come and counter what Dr. Bawumia said. And that person didn't even make it to their manifesto committee. That should tell you the kind of alternative they are bringing. This
it's a shame.
Thank you very much.
It's a shame.
8 years now wants to go back to the people of the country and waste time to research on nepotism.
It's a shame.
1 out of 6,000.
They are killing Ghanaians. And we are responsible opposition. We will bring the change we voted for today.
Of the show. Thank you very much for watching Newspaper Review. We've had an interesting conversation this morning. I've been speaking to Margaret Ansei, who is a member of the NDC communication team, and also to Lawuratu Saka, who is a member of the MPP communication team. Thank you very much for watching this segment of the show.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this video.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Citi TV,
for exclusive breakfast daily content and other Citi TV programs.
Like, comment, and share with your friends.